What is going on, my Super Sandwiches? Rhymestyle here. Today I'm joined by Geekdom for some Dragon Ball Super talk. And today, once again, we're talking about female Broly. You know what's funny about female Broly before we start, Geekdom? Have you noticed this? I don't know if you noticed or not. When they initially revealed Vados, what do we call her? Do you remember that?
Girl Whis.
Girl Whis. Female Whis. We called her Girl and Female Whis. And then later we got her name.
Fat Beerus.
There's another one, yeah. When Champa was revealed, we called them Fat Beerus. And it's like now we got, female Broly. We know it's not Broly. It's the same design. It's a homage, basically. Is it homage or homage? How do you pronounce it?
Oh, homage is the right way to say it.
I've been saying it wrong my entire life.
Like garage. You don't say garage.
Garage. Unless you're foreign.
It's a French word.
Hey, I'm foreign. I can get away with saying garage.
I'm foreign too. I'll tell you what, my mother, when Long John Silver's restaurant.
Yeah.
My mother used to call it Lyndon Johnson, bro.
That's wow. Okay, that's way off.
Foreigners, man. Right. That's what we do,
Yeah. Anyway, so today we're talking about female Broly once again, and the reason why I decided to bring that up in the beginning is because the community has been all over the place about it. I've seen, I don't want to toss out a number, but I've seen a good amount of people who are angry about it, a good amount of people who are happy about it, and a good amount of people who are just like, whatever. I'll see what happens, what Toriyama's working on for us. I'll kind of judge it as I go. And one thing I noticed is the same situation happened with Vados and Champa as well as when Beerus and Whis were originally revealed back in 2013. So you see the design, the first thing you want to do is just judge it, say it's gonna be stupid, or you're gonna say it's gonna be amazing. It's really hard to pick a side, but without very much details, it's so easy to kind of choose a side and kind of be on that side until we get to the point where it starts airing. Well, in today's video, Geek and I are going to kind of discuss our biggest expectations that we have for this character, what we hope to see, and we want to hear from you guys as well. So in the comment section below, feel free to contribute your biggest expectations. Like, what is it that you want to see the most out of this character? Drop it down in the comment section below. All right, Geekdom, I know you've probably talked about this 1,000 times in this past week, so I'll let you start. What's your biggest expectation for female Broly? Actually, do you have a name for her?
Well, we came up with Brolina and.
Well, no, I'm talking about if you've come up with a name that kind of matches the whole Saiyan vegetable thing.
I had a lot of people tweet at me that they wanted her to be called Cauli.
Cauli, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. The exact same thing. I like that. Cauli, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we're missing some vegetable somewhere, bro.
Oh yeah. Well, of course, when we get the actual name, I'm sure we're both going to report on it. But yeah, go ahead. What do you want to see out of this character when this arc starts?
Well, what I want first and foremost, it's not just out of this character, it's out of all the characters, is if they're going to put a focus on them, I want a backstory. I feel like with the Universe 6 arc, we barely got a backstory on some of these guys.
Right.
Kaba, almost nothing. Hit, we got a little more later. Boltamo and Magetta, we know virtually nothing about, especially Boltamo. And Frost got a little bit of a backstory that broke all our hearts. I want this to actually be a story. I want to know where she's from. I want to know the whole thing. She's obviously related to Kaba because she has the same eyes and the same, not related like brother and sister. I mean, she's obviously from Universe 6. I mean, I can't say 100%, but we can presume she's from Universe 6, Planet Sadal. Same belt buckle. So, I mean, it's like the same clothes. So, that being said, I want an actual backstory because if you remember, when Kaba first showed up, he had no idea what a Super Saiyan was, and he also mentioned that in Universe 6, they don't have tails. So, what does that mean? Does that mean that when he went back to Universe 6, he discovered that he was wrong? Or was this girl a new character that he found? Or was it somebody who he trained to get stronger and she just, she was a prodigy? That's what I want to know. How is she so strong if she really is that strong? I don't think she's going to be stronger than Goku and Vegeta. I could be wrong on that. She might give them some challenges, but I don't think that she'll be that much stronger. But I just want to see kind of where she's from. That's the main thing, honestly, where she's from.
You know what my thing that I want to happen the most, what I think would just be hilarious, if that turns out to be his girlfriend.
Well, that was we talked about that in the last video.
Yeah.
That if they're starting to do hanky panky, bro, and then she busts out into that transformation. I mean, what's poor Kaba gonna do? He's like a little 4 to 5 foot tall guy.
That's why it's funny because here's why I thought about that just now as you were talking about that. You remember Tarbo's girlfriend? Oh, I guess his wife.
Yeah, it was a little
goofy.
ball thing.
Yeah, it was goofy.
Yeah.
So
I remember the first thing we said was, "How do you fuck that?" That was the first thing that we said.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, see, solely for the jokes out of it, I'm hoping it to be Kabe's girlfriend. If it's a sister, it'd be kind of weird. But part of me, what I don't want to see happen, and I mentioned this, I think, in the last video as well, is I hope that they don't try to pull too much from the Broly story and try to basically rewrite the whole Broly story from the Universe 6 angle, where it's like, oh, this is the legendary Super Saiyan, she lives in, Universe 6, yada, 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 yada. Like, if they literally rip off the story, that's just going to be the one thing that'll disappoint me the most out of this character. However,
yeah, well, the thing I will say is one thing I don't want to see is I don't want to see them, because she's a female, I don't want to see them make this character into like a joke character, because I think a lot of people want a strong female character. We've had Vados, we've had 18, we've had, Videl at different times, Chi-Chi even. She can't be this character who, oh, she's on her period, that's when she transforms. Like, I think that's very, it's
sexist
2017.
or whatever.
Yeah, it's 2017, bro. Like, you can make some jokes like that she gets mad. Maybe she gets mad over dumb stuff, but that's just the character. I just don't like the idea of her, And the other thing, too, is I don't want to see her be a jabroni. Even though I've made jokes about her getting one-shotted in the first round of the tournament, I really don't want to see that. It would be awesome if she, raged out and then beat the hell out of everybody except Goku and Vegeta, because then she at least looks good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The thing that I want to see the most, though, is I just want her to be awesome. Because the thing is Broly has always been criticized as a character because, he has this crazy fan base, but he's never really done anything that was worthy of, well, my opinion, of something that's, awesome. Broly just didn't really have a cool backstory. He was butthurt because Goku was crying, for real. That's the story. So what I'm hoping they do with, let's call her Kali. What I'm hoping that they do with her character is instead they kind of give her an actual backstory. If she is a legendary Super Saiyan in Universe 6, I hope that she has a reason for becoming that character. Maybe she could even be the one Saiyan that was evil at some point or whatever, and then Vados turned her over or hired her. I don't know. I just want her to have an actual story, and that's the one thing that I'm hoping to see the most with this character. What were you gonna say?
No, actually, I did a video on my channel which should be up today. This is going up Wednesday,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay, it should be up today with Real to Real, our buddy. And one of the theories we came up with, again, this is just us kind of, talking, goofing off, is that it would be awesome if she was the princess of Universe 6. Vegeta's the prince. And here's the story that we had come up with. Just, again, we're just goofing off. Is that she's the king's daughter, and that she's been locked up, hidden away. In other words, he knows she has this power, and so when Kaba went back to Universe 6, right, and he's like, "Hey, King, look what I can do," and transformed in front of him.
Right.
The King was like, "Oh, another one?" And then he brings out his daughter, and then he's like, "What?" That would be a awesome backstory. His daughter's she's a prodigy. You know what I mean? They could do something like that.
Yeah, that'd be badass. And then the thing I like about her character already is the fact that she's so scrawny and small, which is basically what Broly was. I believe it was Vegeta who joked about how small he was, and next thing you know, he gets all buff and crazy and just beats everybody down. I'm kind of hoping that, we get that angle as well from what the trailer teaser made it look like. It's oh, this girl is supposed to fight me, and then she becomes huge, just beats down whoever she's fighting. Like that, I'll be okay with. But as far as story-wise, I'd be more on the side of as far away as Broly as possible. Dude, you know what's going to be weird? I just thought about a horrible image that I'm going to put in your head, and I'm going to put in all your heads too. Imagine female Broly and Broly together. Yeah, there. That image is not in your head forever. You're welcome.
I mean, in the video games, honestly, I feel like if we get a Xenoverse 3 and they don't do a what-if storyline with these two, it's going to be a huge waste of potential, bro. It has to happen. We don't have to, quote, make Broly canon, but if we have them interacting in the video games...
Can we actually just address that for a second again? Because I've seen that pop up so much. Okay, look.
Yeah.
Broly's not becoming canon. This is... Just because we have a character that's literally ripped off from Broly's image and being added into the canon side of Dragon Ball, because remember, Dragon Ball Super is canon. I hate having canon combos. I swear we have this once.
I hate it, and the reason why I'm actually gonna eventually do a video all about it is because there is no real canon except for the only thing you could say is 100% canon is the original 42 volumes of the manga. Everything else after that is just extra material and adaptation. Yeah. So that's it. But it is kind of like.
And he's not saying that Super isn't canon to those watching.
No.
Toriyama did come out with Super and the two movies as well. But as far as how it's done writing-wise, it's just literally just notes on a napkin, basically, that gets handed to Toyotaro and Toei, and then they basically make an anime and a manga out of it. That's how it happens. So it's canon, but the extra details are kind of fuzzy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and not just that. I'm always puzzled as to why so many people put so much stock into the canon, because let's look at Spider-Man. We got a new Spider-Man movie coming out. We have another one with Andrew Garfield and another one with Peter Parker. Or not Peter Parker. What's the guy's name? Tobey Maguire. Okay, so we've got 3 different Spider-Man movies, the Spider-Man comic, and a bunch of Spider-Man TV shows. Why does nobody in the Spider-Man fandom say, which one's canon? Because it doesn't matter. It's just entertainment. Let's just have a good time with it. Broly is a character that's not in the manga and not in the anime, like, regular story. So it's one of those things. But I don't think that her appearance changes Broly's stance as far as where he fits.
Now,
she's just a tribute to Broly. That's all she is.
What's going to be wild is if they reference Broly when that happens.
Then it's going to make things even more headache-inducing for all of us.
Even if Goku says, she reminds me of somebody. Even if he drops that one-liner, it's going to get questionable. And then it's like, what happens next? Oh, God, please don't do that. Because it's going to be a headache. Oh. Regardless.
Yeah, if they make a little joke out of it here and there, like, fine, but I'm just telling people, don't lose sleep over canon.
Look,
who cares?
whatever you like, whatever is your favorite part of Dragon Ball, just stick to that. Enjoy that. Like, let that be your canon. Whatever. I don't care.
We saw Arale one-punch Vegeta like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, they ain't that serious.
Yeah, it's anime. It's always funny to me when people try to like it's fun to do discussions, but it's always funny when people try to add science behind it. Like, again, I've referenced this a lot of times, but like when Hit was first revealed, I saw people trying to figure out the science of the time scale. Like, how does he do that in 0.1 seconds? Well, it's an anime.
I've said that before. It's pseudoscience or
in fact,
cartoon
I want
science,
everybody to go watch the video in the description below. It's my homie Lotus. Everybody knows Lotus. Lotus is awesome. Be more like Lotus. # be like Lotus. Comment that all over the comment section of this video. Lotus made a video about, he was essentially ranting about the anime community and how sometimes they overthink stuff and they just kind of look for stuff to bash as opposed to just sitting back and enjoying it. Like, criticizing is okay, and and questioning how stuff happens is fine too. But when you get to the point where you're just trying to look for flaws to purposely shit on whatever it is that happens in anime, that's a problem. Just sit down, watch it, have fun, turn your brain off if you have to. Do whatever you have to enjoy what you're watching, whether it's Dragon Ball or other anime or manga, whatever. But, like, end of the day, this is just all entertainment. Remember that. Like, that's the most important part when it comes down to whatever you're sitting and consuming. So, like, we're about to watch this tiny, scrawny girl in a couple weeks turn to a gigantic, buff monster. Science can't explain that. It's an anime. But regardless...
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, that just because she's in there does not legitimize Broly unless they actually say something. If they say, like, that's not going to happen. But if they say...
Don't say it's not going to happen, because you know if people might.
You're right. You're right.
At this point, I wouldn't even be surprised if they bring back Bardock. Like, let's be real now. Like,
But the thing is, he's in the manga, though. They could bring him back, and people wouldn't question it that much.
Yeah, but it wouldn't make sense. Like, what if they, like, try to, like, tie in the canon side of an episode of Bardock into Super? Like... At this point, I'm always surprised if anything happens in the series. But before we get into too much non-female Broly stuff, just enjoy what you're watching. Basically, what we're saying. Just sit back, have fun with it, and that's what makes anime and Dragon Ball so much fun. Is you can just sit down and just have fun with it. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say that the thing is, if they actually do say, like, okay, she is the legendary Super Saiyan, then it does somewhat legitimize Broly. And if they actually use the word Broly, then it's like, okay, then we have to figure out how the hell Broly fits, because you can kind of make the first Broly movie fit, sort of, if you suspend your disbelief a little bit. Second Coming and Bio Broly are almost impossible to fit into the actual anime canon.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's gonna be a nightmare.
Either way, before we get too off topic, in the comment section below, let us know your biggest expectations for Kali, or female Broly. The unnamed female Broly is called. I don't want to say Kali before people think that's the actual name.
They're gonna think it's the actual name,
yeah,
bro.
It's not the actual name. Don't go around saying it
news.
is. Don't even joke it is, because that's how it comes back to us. Just let us know your biggest expectations and what you're hoping to see, what you don't want to see. Gotta have fun with it. And, of course, if we get more updates in the next couple weeks, we'll let you guys know. So stay tuned, subscribe to both of us if you're new to the channel, and Geekdom's channel. Description below. And I guess we'll see you guys in the comment section below. And also, don't forget, if you had fun, leave a like. Let's go for 9,001 as always, and I'll see you guys in the comment section below.